What's up everyone, Adam from FWCI Collector's Edition. Today we are going to be doing an unboxing. I don't always unbox on the channel. I found it a lot better to unbox, do a bunch of figure photography, really get to know the figure, and then record like a review later on. I found the unboxings to sometimes be not as informative as I wanted them to be. But today we're doing an unboxing of Ryu because I know exactly what I'm expecting with this figure. If you haven't seen my reaction to the Jada Street Fighter action figure wave, go check that out because I have nothing but really strong feelings towards this line. For those who haven't seen that, just a quick background, I don't have really any experience with Street Fighter other than knowing the characters and playing the game very casually as a kid. I haven't watched the movie yet, I still plan on doing that. But when I saw Chun Li up for sale on, I think it was Amazon, for a really good price, I thought, you know what, I'm gonna grab it because I've never heard of this company before. I don't have any from this line. I'm really starting to get into figures in general, and I know this is your quintessential Chun Li look, like the attire and everything they got. It just looked really good, so I thought, let's give it a look. I grabbed it and it was just spectacular. I then picked up Ryu and Fei Long as well, and I was blown away by all of them for different reasons. Jada is absolutely killing it. So Evil Ryu, I believe, is it says next level on here, so I think that means he's just like a deluxe figure. It comes with a bit of extra stuff, a little bit more expensive, but you know, it's basically just like a little bit more than what you get with the standard releases. So let's get into it. I mean, talking about the packaging first of all, they do a great job with the packaging, especially in their regular line, but Ryu's just in this nice glossy box with a nice big high-res picture of the character there. It slides out. What do we got under here? Holy shit. This looks unbelievable. My first impressions just looking at the box is this is as good, if not better, than the regular Ryu. I'm not entirely sure who this character is or Ryu's story for it to become evil of him, but you can see the like darkness around the eyes. You can see the different expression on the face. He comes with 3 heads, 4 hands, 2 Hadouken effects. One of them's purple, the other one is orange, so that's different to the Hadouken we got with the regular Ryu. That obviously comes with a stand, and then we get these 2 stands. That's going to be confusing. These 2 like wooden signs with all this Japanese writing on it. One of them is broken, the other one is together. And we've got Ryu's home base in the background, so that's a nice big diorama for that as well. I talked about how they kind of incorporate dioramas into their packaging, and they've done the same with this, and it's a big box, so big diorama. Love it. I recommend using a cutting tool to open this up because you can really keep this box very pristine very easily. He just slides right out. That's what we like to see. So I want to take a moment to again acknowledge these dioramas that they do. They're so good. They are so good. And I also figured out does this one do the same? I think it will. Oh, well, maybe not. You can like undo the sticky tape on there and unfold it completely, and it gives you an even more diorama space as well. But this edition honestly is one of the things that other figure lines could easily be doing, and they choose not to. So Jada, my hat goes off to you straight away. So my first impressions unboxed, it's very consistent with the previous Ryu. Obviously it is the same figure but with just a few changes. But I think this feels a lot better in terms of like how the joints bend and things like that. The other Ryu was perfectly fine, but this one, I don't know if it's just because it's newer maybe, but it just feels a lot tighter and just like a lot, I wouldn't say better made, but it just feels like I got a better one. That I always wanted to do figures that sit in like storage that's way too warm. Do they just get soft and not good? And is that sometimes the issue? But this one here seems to be really tight, really nice. With doing a quick first look comparison with the original Ryu figure, I mean, the paintwork is way different. The complexion is different. Obviously, the gi is different, and the fighting gloves and everything like that. But the paint on the skin tone is so much darker. Like, this looks... And again, I'm guessing that this is probably, you know, accurate to the way that character looks in the game. He just has a darker presence to him. The other Ryu looks much brighter. The skin seems to be a lot more, skin toned. So the accessories that come with this, we've been given some interesting options. We've been given 2 fireballs, so they're both different to the one that we got with the original Ryu. This purple one looks like, no, they're all wildly different lengths and designs. So I guess they're trying to like animate like the Hadouken as it progresses towards the other person, and maybe it takes different forms and the flames on the back sort of get a little bit longer and stuff like that. Because this orange one seems to be longer than the other ones, but it also has like this swirly effect that kind of goes around it as well, which makes it unique. Not sure if that means it's a different move or if it's just a different point of a Hadouken. But after buying 2 Ryus, I've got 3 Hadouken effects now: purple, blue, and orange. So interesting that they went that route with, you know, giving us these. And I'm sure Street Fighter fans are, you know, pulling their hair out right now going, what are you talking about? It's obviously the
Attack the Fruity Kid?
Wow. Wow.
You can't be saying attack the Fruity Kid.
No, I'm not saying attack the Fruity Kid.
We got 2 of these stands with the Japanese writing on it. The writing is identical on both. The only difference is one of them breaks apart, and it's currently held together just from a big thing of tape on the back. So you know what? Let's take the tape off and just see how it looks when it's actually apart. But I don't know, if you want the 2 of them, either leave the tape on, or you might want to even perhaps glue this one together, but it doesn't appear to have anything. Yeah, ooh, whoops. It doesn't appear to have anything holding him in place. It just kind of like goes together. So I don't know if this is good for figure photography or not, but to be completely honest, I think I might just glue that together because I love the visual of these 2 stands side by side. Or maybe I'll glue it together, but with the exception of like one of the pieces being broken off. But cool effects. The other one's a little bit impractical, but with figure photography, a jagged piece of wood with half of a signage written on it, that's good for figure photography stuff. Just chuck in the background, make something look kind of organically, you know, destroyed, I guess. He has the same fists and the same sort of open martial arts hands that he had with the original figure, obviously with the different color gloves on there. And he comes with 3 head sculpts, which is, you know, that's a lot of head sculpts. Maybe Jada could give us a bit more variety. One of these is like mouth, like teeth clenched. The other is teeth clenched, but more clenched, it feels like. I don't know if there's a different Ryu face that they could have also chucked in there, but I love the option of having these extra heads. These 2 look a little bit similar in my personal opinion, but 3 heads, better than 2. So let's have a quick look at the paintwork on this. As I mentioned, the skin tone is a much darker. It doesn't mean he looks like he has a darker complexion. It just looks like it's been painted in a much darker, you know, bit more washed out kind of paint, which I think it looks absolutely great. It really truly sets him apart from the other figure. I thought these were going to look like 1A and 1B, but this really does look like a whole different figure thanks to the paintwork. He's got some Japanese writing on his belt, which looks absolutely perfect. The paint app on that is really good. Looking at the eyes, I mean, he's got weird eyes. He's got like inverted eyes with like the black on the outside and then the white pupil with like the red in there. It looks great. It looks fantastic. I mean, looking at the paint application itself, the eyebrows, I could be really nitpicky on one of the eyebrows if I want, but I'm not going to because it's basically exactly on. It's just that you can see like a slight ridge where you can still see the skin tone underneath, but that could also be exactly how it's supposed to be designed because it's that close. So the paintwork on the clenched teeth head, I'm not sure what's going on with the eyes. It looks good from afar, but when I look closer, I feel like the eye paint application might be a little bit funky for that, but fortunately this is probably the head that I was planning on using the least anyway, so I'm not too bothered by that. The paint all matches, which is really nice. Sometimes you get figures and like the torso will be a different color to like the rest of the figure. The face that I'm most looking forward to is the one with the most teeth. The one with the extra going on. Nice headband flying in the breeze as well, and the paint application on this is pretty damn immaculate, pretty flawless. I think this is the head to go with for me personally. I think it just looks the best. Although closed mouth and brooding also has its appeal. Articulation is the same as the previous Ryu. You've got butterfly joints, you've got pinless double jointed elbows, pinless double jointed knees, you've got a thigh cut, you've got a swivel in the bottom part. I'm still learning all the terminology to be able to explain this. The feet are very posable, and Quentin is going to weigh in on that in just a moment. One thing I do like about these figures and the choice that Jada made is the 2 points of articulation with the neck. You've got the actual neck that plugs into the body, and then the head goes on the peg, and that's got a whole heap of articulation as well. It doesn't have, what you would get with like a Marvel figure where you can move the neck peg like back so that if the character is leaning right down, they can lift their head up and still look forward. I think all figures should have that, to be completely honest. I think that's a really good feature to have. It makes posability really stand out. We don't have that here, but we do have the extra movement in the neck anyway, so that kind of makes up for it. In terms of the Tarantino test, and by the way, if you don't know what that is, I think the feet of an action figure are one of the most important features because it's the foundation, and when you're trying to do a lot of different poses like I like to do, the feet end up being the sort of is it good or is it bad thing in terms of actual posability. So Quentin Tarantino famously has a foot fetish, so I call it the Tarantino test, where I check out the feet of the figure to see if it stands up fine, and all of these Jada Street Fighting toys stand up absolutely perfect. Quentin Tarantino gives it... No, hang on, what's his face look like up there? What do you look like up there, Quentin? Does that work? It's got good feet, it stands up fine, and it poses great. In terms of head swaps, it's not going to work. The complexion is way too different between the two versions of Ryu. Let me just whack the new head on the old body. Yep, it's just a different... It's a completely different paint tone that they've used on that. They're both skin complexions, but one of them is vibrant and the other one is like washed out and seems to have a lot of a darker... a bit of a darker color going through it. So you can't really head swap these, but why would you need to? This guy comes with 3 heads and this guy came with 2 heads. So you've already got an abundance of Ryu heads as it is. So my final thoughts on this figure are Jada are continuing to kill it. We know Wave 2 is... It's got to be around the corner at some point. I think I've seen people with, like, maybe it's a prototype of it or something like that. But that's going to be Ken, Bison, and Dalsim, I believe. So I'm getting my Peace Skulls very soon, and I'm very excited for that. But I just can't stress enough, I love this action figure line because I love action figures. It's got nothing to do with the source material. And... just to give it a comparison, G.I. Joe, for example. Another thing I never really grew up on and I don't really have much of a nostalgic or sentimental connection to. The G.I. Joe figures are great, but it's not enough to sort of get me to just want to buy one just to see what it's like and then sort of go from there. Plus, it's also Hasbro, which is very similar to, your Marvel Legends and other stuff as well. But this is like a whole different world, and it's the quality of these figures that attracted me to them, and now that I'm here... I plan on staying and collecting the entire wave. I cannot wait for Dalsim. I cannot wait for Vega. Give me Vega immediately. And this is absolutely no prior fandom of Street Fighter at all. It's just from getting these effect pieces, getting these different hands, having this superior articulation, getting it for a cheap price, seeing the love and the craftsmanship that Jada put into their figures. All of this just makes me feel happy about being a toy collector. And again, I just can't stress it out. Let me know in the comments. Do you collect figures for an action figure line that you've got no interest at all in the source material? Like, you just saw the figures, you're like, I like the look of that guy. I don't know what he is, but I'm going to grab it. Like, let me know in the comments if you've had this experience and how did that go? Did that trigger a new collection for you? Or was it a bit of a, that's okay, moving back to my normal thing. Because, like I say, this has really just taken over my collector's brain. I think about these figures all the time. I anticipate them. We have actually got news about this figure line as well. Alright, first of all, shout out to Dom, who hooked me up with these images. I posted in a Facebook group. I was like, did I dream these pictures? Because I'm trying to find them on Google and I cannot find them anywhere. They did exist. So shout out to Dom for hooking me up with the images. I don't read Japanese writing, but apparently, and shout out to Wilson for the translation, it says stock will arrive April 2024 for Chun Li and June for Fei Long. Pre-order end of end at January 15, which is today. I don't know where to pre-order them. Sadly, I live in Australia, and our distribution and our ability to actually obtain certain specialty figures is very, very limited. But this is apparently what is coming next, and there's a lot of effect pieces in here. It does make me wonder if this is going to be like the Evil Ryu set, where it's going to be like the deluxe figure, because this Chun Li comes with 4 heads, another kick effect. I'm thinking that's her fireball, something or other. I was playing a bit of it the other week, and somehow I did a fireball with Chun Li, and I was like, oh, okay, interesting. I think you get that effect piece in there. And with the heads, I mean, you get the closed mouth like you did with the last one, you get the open mouth like you did with the last one. Then we get 2 laughing faces with different color buns in the hair. I don't know what that's all about. Again, I'm very much the uninitiated at this point, and it looks like with this one you get your fists, you get your open hands for fighting, and then you get another set of hands which comes with the peace sign, and the other one just seems to be, I don't know if it's a fist or if it's a little bit more open, it's a little bit different. Bunch of different hands coming with Chun Li, and at this point I will get this. I will track this down, and I will find it, and I will buy it, and I will do a review. I'm not a huge fan of the pink and gold, to be completely honest. But also, I think it's really hard to surpass Chun-Li's typical design. That blue, yellow, and white, it just looks so good. And this is the new Fei Long as well, which, you know, oh yeah, pre-order January. Oh, they've got the things written in regular English numbers up there. I should probably have read that. Probably could have figured that out. Fei Long comes with an extra head. So again, we get the same 2 heads that we got from the OG Fei Long, but we've got an extra one with the mouth open, which looks really, really good. Like, Fei Long is a tricky one to try and rank in this, because he's definitely the most boring, but he also has some of the better articulation as well, because his body type is a lot more typical. So, I don't know, I liked his figure a lot more than I expected to. He comes with the open hands, he comes with these ones, the kitty cat hands, I like to call them, comes with the fists, and he comes with the gripping hands for a set of nunchucks, by the looks of things. So, Fei Long coming with nunchucks, with that open mouth. I mean, obviously, he's a complete Bruce Lee ripoff. I think that's very widely acknowledged. So, this looks pretty good. And, of course, he comes with his penis of fire effect. He comes there. I'm not gonna lie, some of these effect pieces look like sex toys, so we'll just leave it at that. So that's what's coming in the future from the Jada Street Fighter Final Challenges wave, and I can't say it enough times, I'm absolutely in love with this figure range. Let me know in the comments what your thoughts are on this one. Let me know if you've got Evil Ryu, and or if you're going to purchase Evil Ryu. Alright, hang on a second. If you watch this video and it convinces you to then go and purchase Evil Ryu, tweet this video to JadaToys', I think it's at Jada Club on Twitter or X. I'm just fascinated. I'm absolutely fascinated with this company and this product that they've produced, and I want to see what else they've got in store for us moving forward. But thanks for checking this video out. Thanks for sharing this gushing of enthusiasm from me now that I've got Evil Ryu to add to my Street Fighter collection. Hope you've been enjoying the figure photography on the side. Subscribe if you do want more of that. Subscribe if you want more final challenges, action figure reviews, figure photography, and everything else that comes along with it, because that's what you get at FWCI Collector's Edition. That's the little logo there. Hey, while I'm pointing up there, Quentin, what do you think? Hey, here he is. And as always, everyone, be well, stay safe, look after your friends. See you in the next video. Peace.